Hi everyone. Firstly, I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which you and I and others are meeting today and pay my respects to their elders past, present and future. Thank you for joining us for this 6th webinar in a series of the Queensland Tourism Awards Judges webinars to help you as an entrant through your award submission journey. My name is Liz Ward. I'm the CEO of Tourism Tribe, and it's my job to be your MC of these webinars, which is my privilege. I've been involved in the Queensland Tourism Awards and generally the awards across Australia and other states for a very long time, and I'm very pleased to be part of this. Today's webinar, we're going to be focusing on the question of customer experience in your submission and how to best approach this question when you're pulling your submission together. And I'm joined by two absolute experts in the area of customer service, both incredibly passionate about customer service in tourism. I'm very pleased to introduce you to both Elizabeth or Liz Hackett and also Talita Dukes. And let me tell you firstly about Elizabeth. Executive Chairman, Australian Adventure Tourism Group. Elizabeth is a hands-on tourism industry professional with 30 years experience in the development and implementation of management, marketing strategies and operations. Elizabeth is an executive chairperson in the boardroom of an NSX listed company that has owned and operated tourism assets in Queensland for over 20 years, and she's currently its Director of Operations and Marketing. An active traveller, usually, with professional and customer exposure to accommodation and tourism activities from backpackers to 5-star international hotels. And I know a story about Elizabeth's birthplace, which has something to do with a 5-star hotel, which is a very interesting anecdote. Welcome, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Talita Dukes, a long-serving member of the tourism community, and after many years of holding senior positions in highly driven and successful operations like Hamilton Island and Fantasy Cruises, Talita now has her own successful marketing company called 8 Seconds. Talita provides customer service training to award-winning tourism properties. And has also been the author of many award-winning submissions in the past as well, where you have been working in that business and running those marketing departments and operations as well, I expect. Many of you may be familiar with Talita, who regularly engages with QTIC around workshops and training for small businesses. So welcome, Talita.
Thank you, Liz.
So the customer experience question, it accounts for 10 to 25 points depending on the category that you're in. We're intending to share with you some tips and guidance about how to best answer this question. It's such an important component, as they all are, of your submission, but I think this question's really interesting because it's a short question, but it's very loaded, isn't it? It's a huge part of business success. And the question is, how do you provide quality visitor experiences and demonstrate inclusive practices? So I'll ask you to tackle the first part of approaching this, Liz. What is customer service? So could you define that for us? And how do we quantify success in the customer experience? And then how does that translate into your submission?
Sure, thank you. And it is a great question, and we certainly are passionate about customer service. I think it's really important to understand, Liz, that, best practice customer service is before, during and after that actual experience that the customer is having the provision of service. It's really critical that we look at all points of customer engagement, and the list you can see up on the screen now. I'm not suggesting that you all use all of these in all your businesses, but if you do, we would just like to walk through those to tell you how you can enhance your story. So if you do have a set greeting, which can be by phone, by email, those are all examples we like to see, because process and procedure in customer service really gives the consistency that the judges are looking for, and certainly the customer is looking for. We go right through to signage, direct interactions, the body language of the way that you teach your staff to interact with the customer. And at the moment, COVID is right up there on the list of making people feel comfortable and having the right information. We we want to see exactly, how the website is being part of your team, and Talita will talk more about that. This year, for instance, financial and administration services and processes have become all important because we have given so many refunds. We've had to tell so many bad news stories to our customers. Did you have a policy? Did you have a procedure for that? How did it go? Was it successful? We'd love to share in those stories with you. So that's a whole new one, certainly was for my business. What are you providing in avenues for sharing those concerns and complaints? Is it a feedback box on the counter? Is it an app that you have that you can ask the question once the person gets to their room? We love seeing these policies, procedures and processes that you have in place for your customer. Your social media offerings, again, I will get to Talita to talk a little bit more about how you can maximise the potential of those in offering great customer service. I'm going to hand over to Talita now. She's going to talk about website and she's going to talk about social media offerings.
Thank you, Liz. So your website and your social media are really an opportunity for us to showcase the customer service promises that you have made during the course of the year and what the customer can expect when they land on your doorstep. They should be really showcasing your brand values, your brand promises, and it gives us a chance to really sort of articulate from the beginning, the outset, as if they're a staff member. They actually showcase what a guest can expect walking through. As the other little points that Elizabeth touched on before, email, phone, greeting, signage, all of these should really articulate your branding when it comes to a customer service promise. But your website, as I mentioned, is almost a staff member of your business. It's really starting to comfort that person, that customer, whilst they're in the new know section of their journey with your business, to really understand what you are showing. Of course, in a tourism submission context, we really need to articulate through evidence what we've done to create these promises to our customers, and then support those with the processes as to how we delivered them during the course of the year, so that the judges can see the consistency in delivery, and then of course the outcome being excellence in tourism.
I love that reminder that customer experience starts at the very beginning, before they've even bought anything from you. And I think that's the importance of showcasing or highlighting the way that you do that online. I think that's super important. And I think what you've suggested, Elizabeth, are a whole lot of different ways in which people do connect and engage with their customers, which will help to prompt people in what they include in their submission. So that's wonderful. And as we've seen in some of the other webinars, this importance of being able to measure feedback, demonstrate success in your submission. Talita, I'm going to throw to you here to talk about measuring the feedback and demonstrating success in your submission, which we know is a really important part of all of the questions and answering them. But this question on customer experience does involve obviously a lot of feedback from customers, or referring to the customer voice. So could you please tell us about that and your tips for doing this well?
Sure, Liz, thank you. So this, I think, gives operators a really great opportunity to sort of showcase and shine how they've performed by providing proof and evidence of their customer service promises coming to fruition during the course of the year. It's really important, I think, to remember though that in the reviews, often they can mention a few different areas. So if I could probably recommend that, choose something where the customer potentially has had an experience and they've mentioned it's been a positive experience from the first moment that they booked to their stay, to their departure, and it's really articulated throughout their whole experience and exposure to your business that high level and standard in customer service excellence was carried throughout. As operators, we've got a whole gamut of digital tools that allow us to really sort of showcase how we're doing. One example I'd give you is in your TripAdvisor account. Of course, you have a graph that you can literally screen grab relevant to your customer service in line with everybody else in your region or other operators. I think for the sake of the judges, they have so much content to get through. They're very very, very welcoming of any kind of visuals that help them interpret the data, as well as really tell your story and provide the evidence that you need to sort of make your point. I'd also encourage you to think a bit through your other channels as well. So potentially Google My Business showcases how many reviews you've got, your average star rating. If you want to screen grab a couple of reviews, super relevant to customer service, do that. But be sure not to change anything. Make sure you have the dates on there so the judges can really see clearly where you stand on that. I think there's Review Pro, which is the whole summary of all of it, which I'll throw to Elizabeth for to sort of wrap it all up in that context as well, which is another great tool we have on offer.
Absolutely. I'll just very quickly say that Review Pro is just the best harvesting tool. Use it to harvest your digital footprint. Make sure that you bring that data out and tell the judges about it, but also use it really well in your workplace. I know for us, it goes out to the maintenance department, to the housekeeping department, to the front office team. They all know their feedback. We're constantly correcting ourselves, and I love the story that goes with it. Please tell us that story.
And of course, we did a dedicated webinar in this series where I spoke with Avril Carter from Review Pro, and spoke about its relevance within the submission process as well. So that's available for people to watch as well. Okay. So that's great. Thank you so much. They're all wonderful tips. Part of the question, though, very importantly, specifically asks how you demonstrate inclusive practices. And so could you tell us a little bit more about customer service for clients with special needs and how to best address that in your submission?
Yeah, look, it's a great question, and we in the tourism industry need to be very aware of it and very inclusive. I think we are. I think we're getting better all the time. I think I've just loaded 3 bullet points here. I think in the past we've talked very much about wheelchair access and a special diet. Moving forward in your submission, we really need a far broader scope of special needs. And I think now more than ever, we are very aware that there are very relevant and current special needs that people are facing. And, one of those is COVID at the moment. So are you COVID clean? Are you COVID safe? What are the policies and procedures you have in place to ensure people's safety? It is a critical special need. How are we dealing with that? How are we dealing with weather events? How are we helping our clients with their travel needs to get to their departure point? All of these things have become special needs. They're important, they're relevant, and they are in our day-to-day life at the moment. But please don't take your eye off all those other special needs like cultural, like vision impaired, and I'll get Talita to talk to you a little bit about where you can find resources that are available to you just to make sure that you are harvesting the right data for your submission. Talita, would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, great. I think, Elizabeth, it's a bit of a no-brainer. We all know how affected we have been by COVID as an industry, and certainly our customers are almost a bit gun-shy as well when it comes to booking. So it's very important that we're aware of this as a concern at that first instance. All of those touch points from the earlier slide, which said email, greetings, website, social media. It's critical that our COVID dedication, I suppose, or our COVID brand promises and values, and how we deliver this we deliver through customer service, our managing COVID, I suppose, that just how we actually make sure you are safe on our property or within our experience when you come and choose us. Default to QTIC, they have great references when it comes to being COVID safe and things we need to do and adhere to for our customers' sake. But I think there's also easy ways to do that, and I would hope that, if you, defaulting back to your links again, screen grab, show how you showcased this previously during the times of COVID where you've had updates that you've had to get out to your guests, how you've communicated that to them to ensure that their customer experience with your property or product has still been excellent in terms of customer service. When it comes to special needs and people that to ensure accessibility, one example I'd give you with a customer that I've worked through is visiting the Vision Australia website. Have got great resources to ensure you can go and make sure your website is as up to date as can be and accessible from people who are visually impaired. That's one simple example, and if you'd like more, I'm happy to communicate those through the ladies at QTIC at the email at the end there. But just remember that evidence equals points. It's really important that whatever you put in there helps the judges come to the understanding that you are doing what you say you do. Give them the information they need to understand you and your property and how you're providing and presenting excellent customer service through your product.
I think that's fantastic. I think the other thought I've got rattling around in my head as a judge and having done submissions before as well is I think that this area, it's really important to talk about your procedures as well. So what it's like, you know, this is how we satisfy customer needs at all these different points of contact, including very much the experience. This is the results that we're getting through these things that we're doing, but this is how we maintain it. So these are the goals or the philosophy that we have around customer service and customer satisfaction, and these we back them up through these procedures. I think that's always a great strengthener for this answer as well.
I think so too, and I think that COVID, Liz, has probably presented a whole new way of how we attend to our customers and present customer service and ensure that they are having a great experience with us. As Elizabeth said, it can be something as simple as a process on site of you accepting some sort of submission if there's a problem with their stay. It might be a QR code on the counter that they can scan to make a comment about something they're a bit concerned about. So it's probably, I would imagine there's plenty of operators out there that have innovatively added new ways, processes to handle their customer service to ensure they give the most excellent experience, I should say.
So Elizabeth and Talita, you've provided such fantastic information. Have you got any final last tip you would like to share to help people?
Oh, look, have fun with this particular question. It really does allow you to shine. Customer service really allows you to be innovative, very reflective of your business and your market. Look, let's make Queensland shine.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Talita, final word?
Look, I think that customer service is such a great opportunity. I see it as marketing your business. In my world, every opportunity to provide a touch point or a customer service point is marketing for your business to ensure that we are really getting our reputation out there and maintained. I think it's really important to hook it back to your mission statement. Make sure you've got a goal with it. Make sure you've got great processes to underpin it to ensure that it's delivered consistently throughout every facet of your business, and you'll be on a winner. And don't forget, provide the evidence. The judges need to see the facts.
Yes.
Love it. Thank you both so much, Elizabeth Hackett and Talita Dukes, absolute experts and so passionate, I can tell. And so the information and experience you share is incredibly valuable. So thank you both. QTIC and the Tourism Awards judges, we're looking forward to bringing you, I think we have one more in this series for you to enjoy and take the experience out of and the tips from. And we hope very much that that's going to help you along the way with this journey. If you've got any suggestions, please email awards@qtic.com.au, and that's how you're connecting with the wonderful Tracy Capes, who's the program manager this year. And you can also get lots of incredible information off the QTIC website as well at Queensland Tourism Awards. So good luck, everybody, and remember that the judges are here to help you as well. And I know, Elizabeth and Talita, you're always open to receiving direct requests for support as well, and Tracy can also point people to you. So good luck, everybody, and thank you again, Elizabeth and Talita.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Liz.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.